Welcome back to the Celestine Light Esoteric Mystery School. Today will be the first of many video tours of positive energy vortexes and dimensional doorways. Two very different energies and uses, but they're most often found in close proximity to one another. As is often true, opposites do attract. I'm going to show you why these locations are so special, and I'm going to give you exact directions to get there so you can go and experience them for yourself. As the name implies, dimensional portals are literally doorways to other realms. These portals are often found in caves. Usually the passages are closed, which is a good thing as a lot of scary creatures can come through when they periodically open. Sometimes, even when the portal is closed, you can still see the alien energy disruption in the air and on the surface of the rock faces in the caves. Even when you can't see it, you can sure feel it, and it's not a comfortable feeling. Positive energy vortexes are just the opposite. Their energy is always bright and uplifting. The feeling of pure euphoria you get at a positive energy vortex will usually stay with you for at least a few days and up to a week if you visit a powerful one. Many people have actually never felt euphoria in their life. They really don't know what it is. Their visit to a positive energy vortex is often the first time that they experience the amazing feeling of euphoria, which makes their visit to the vortex all the more memorable. Sedona, Arizona is well known for their energy vortexes, but less known, yet far more numerous, and with some a lot more powerful, are the positive energy vortexes in Northern California, Southern Oregon, and spread out along their coasts. Away from the coast, vortexes are often found at waterfalls and on high, pointy mountain peaks. They are great places to magically enchant gems, crystals, and other objects, or simply to go and recharge and energize your body. Today on this foggy afternoon in July, on the Oregon coast, we're visiting the incredible Kiwanda Positive Vortex and the nearby dimensional portal. Kiwanda is a giant, almost 300-foot tall sand dune that juts out from the coast into the Pacific Ocean near the town of Pacific City, which is really a fairly big exaggeration as it's just a very tiny little town. Kiwanda is all the more unusual because there are no other sand dunes, large or small, in the vicinity, and because it has a rocky base under the mountain of sand, the dune does not get eroded by the pounding waves of the Pacific Ocean. I'm joined today by Samara, Sky, Tyrell, and our toy poodle Littlebit. We'll be hiking to the top of the dune to experience this special vortex at its peak power point. It may be only 300 feet high, but believe me, it takes some effort to hike uphill through deep sand. Now this really is an extraordinary vortex of positive energy, and it always has been. But its natural power was enhanced even further on August 21st, 2017, when it was in a direct line with a total solar eclipse. There is a tremendous magical energy that coalesces along the narrow path of a total solar eclipse. The Kiwanda vortex was inside that narrow band and was bathed for almost 2 full minutes in the total solar eclipse energy. This tiny section of the Oregon coast was also the first place the solar eclipse appeared in North America, as it sped across its path around the world from west to east. Now we plan on returning to Kiwanda at least once a year, because the natural strength of the vortex, which is already one of the most powerful vortexes in the Northwest United States, was greatly amplified when it was bathed in the rare energy of the total solar eclipse. For at least the next 10 years, until the solar eclipse energy wanes, this location will be one of the top places on the planet to do enchantments. Now we've already enchanted some wonderful crystals and stones here at Kiwanda, and they'll soon be available on my website, www.embrosen.com. As we hike through the step area, just before we pass back onto the sandy uphill slope, we encountered one of the most fascinating phenomena I have ever experienced. As I was walking through the top part of that section, it began to rain pretty hard. By the time I had taken about 10 steps, though, the rain had completely stopped. I'd like to be able to tell you that I did some powerful magic to make the rain stop, but the reality is even more amazing. Though it was no longer raining on me, I was still hearing rain falling right next to me. I turned to look back and was startled to see that it was still raining fairly heavily, but only under a single big tree in an area about 30 feet in diameter. What was happening is to my left, the sand dune was a steep cliff rather than a sandy slope. This cliff curved and narrowed at the top. A fairly strong wind was blowing the fog from the cliffside direction and compressing and condensing it against the curved cliff. By the time it reached the narrow opening at the top next to the big tree, the fog had been condensed enough to make rain. Once you reach the top of Kiwanda, you're in the center of a positive energy vortex that's about 50 feet in diameter at its most powerful point. It's strong enough that even without the wind or the slipping sand, it can make you a little unsteady on your feet. Now that unsteadiness and a tendency to start rotating your body in unison with the swirling vortex, that's something to remember with caution at all vortexes, because many of them are at the top of precarious peaks or right next to waterfalls and you wouldn't want to fall off. Now you can actually feel positive energy vortexes in multiple ways. They strongly affect all of your energy centers. If you're immersed in the vortex energy, it can cause you to quickly lose your balance. It can make you have vivid visions. You can feel stronger physically, and you can become amazingly clear in your thinking, especially for making important life decisions. And overall, you'll have a tremendous feeling of euphoria sweep over you that will typically last for 2 to 4 days after you leave the vortex, and sometimes as long as a week. Now we're just walking over here to the edge of the top, so we're just going to peek over the top so you can look down and get a little bit of perspective on looking down from 300 feet from the top of the sand dune. You can see those little teeny people way down there at the bottom. And then we're going to pan a little bit to the right in a second, and then you'll see the ocean waves. It's kind of a foggy day, so can't see real clearly, but you can see the crest of the waves coming in on the beach on the ocean down below. So that gives you a little bit of perspective of where we are at the top. Now Samara, Sky, and Ty decided to have a little fun at the top. They were right in the middle of the vortex, so you can really feel the energy, and they decided to swirl with it. But you can only do that for a little bit of time before it gets a little bit too much, and there they go, down to the ground. We decided to have a little fun on the way from the top to the bottom. Notice everybody's unique running styles going down. There goes Sky taking as big a steps as she can, like she's walking on the moon. And then next we have Samara coming up and taking as small a steps as she can. So she looks like she's standing kind of leaning backwards as she goes down the hill. And then of course here comes Ty with his very unique airplane zigzag style of going down the hill. And then of course I had the camera, so I had to just walk nice and slow down the hill. No, I took big steps too. I like to feel like I'm running, jumping on the moon when I go down big sand dunes like that. Next we're going to go to the dimensional doorway. It starts at the base of this very big cliff. As I mentioned before, dimensional doorways are often in caves. In this case we have a deep, dark sea cave. It's right next to the ocean. And you can see the water coming into our left over there. And this water comes in at very high tide and helps erode the cave. You'll notice the color of the walls of the cave are an orangey color versus the surrounding rock, which is a sandy color. So there's a different mineral that this cave was made from that allowed it to erode more easily. And here we have Samara and Sky and Ty walking into the cave to see what they can find. Now what you find inside dimensional doorways is very interesting because they are actual portals to other worlds and other dimensions. The energy that you feel inside can be very strange. Well, it's always very strange, but also very varied. So for instance, you may see something that's really odd. The wall may actually seem like it's a mirage. You may smell some really horrible smells that you've never smelled in your life before because they're alien smells or not from this world. So here I am walking in over the boulders that are on the ground. So it's a little bit of a choppiness as I'm going back to see right where the portal begins out. It's right at the very end of the cave in the darkest recessed spot. Now these portals only open very rarely, luckily, but they do have openings that happen on a timetable. And the reason that these portals open is as a way for energy to be exchanged between worlds. It helps keep all the worlds healthier, even though it's an alien type energy. But unfortunately, when they're open, other things besides energy can come through, and that can be a little bit dangerous. Now here I'm looking out the back, and there's a lot of really cool emblems and things that people have carved into the sandstone here. You saw that beautiful sun we just passed. Let me tell you now how to get to Kiwanda. From Interstate 5 at Salem, take Highway 22 west. At the tiny spot in the road called Dolph, take Highway 130 west. At the intersection of Highway 101, turn right, which will be north. Very shortly thereafter, you'll take the turnoff to Pacific City on Bruton Road. You go down Bruton for a little bit, then turn left on Pacific Avenue and cross the little bridge over the river. As you veer to the right, the road turns into Cape Kiwanda Drive. Just before the Cape Kiwanda Inn, you'll see a little diagonal road leading to a parking area next to the beach. That's it, you're at Kiwanda. Or you could just put it into your smartphone and follow the directions. Have fun, it's a wonderful place. That's all for this lesson. Thanks for watching. Now we will be visiting many more positive energy vortexes in future videos, as well as their not so friendly neighbors, the dimensional doorways or portals. Now if you would like any of the special minerals that we've enchanted already at Kiwanda, just send me an email and let me know what you're trying to accomplish or achieve with an enchantment, and I'll get back to you with what we have from Kiwanda that might help you. Soon we're going to have these enchanted gems plus many more up on my website www.emblems.com along with prices. As I mentioned in earlier videos, if you have some of your own minerals or crystals that you would like us to enchant for a special purpose, you can send them to me to be enchanted. I do all requested enchantments in a circle of power of at least 3 Celestine Light Adepts. And just go to my website, emblems.com, click on the Enchantments tab to find out how to take advantage of this service. Please subscribe to my channel to get notified of any new lessons when they're posted. We're going to be doing them every week, hopefully. And please like this video. Thank you so much. Namaste, my brothers and sisters.